They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
Welcome back to our channel. We are here for, of course, Power. So Season 6, Episode 2 came on, of course, on Sunday. And the title of this episode was, Whose Side Are You On? And definitely make sure that you comment below and let me know, whose side are you on? Because at this point, I genuinely don't even know. Like, I can't tell. It's too much. But anyway, make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel so we can get these views up. Because like I said in the last video, nobody is showing Power the love that they deserve. And I personally am going to do my part because I love this show. So let's dive right on into this episode, episode 2. We still have that ridiculously horrible, terrible intro song. But I was on the Shade Room and I follow 50 and everybody else. And it's rumored that the next episode, we're going back to regular old milk dud head, shiny face, pleather jacket Joe with the raspy voice. So we should be good by next episode. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. We open the show with a rest in peace to Tommy's beloved blue Mustang that we've all seen him in for 6 seasons at this point. That car was like its own character, for real, for real. If you really think about all the stuff that Tommy did in it from, I mean, with Holly and all the people that he killed and all of that. Like, the car had its own storyline, for real, for real. So, we open up with, you know, a little rest in peace moments to that. We see Ghost standing out there crying or fake crying. How you crying and you killed him? But anyway. So, we see that, and that's kind of like the moment where it's like Ghost gets his clarification of like, all right, he did. I did it. Whatever. So then Jason meets with Ghost about Tommy's murder and pretty much Ghost calls killing Tommy a family matter. Like, you know, Jason, this was nothing against you. It was just kind of something that I needed to do. Tommy got in over his head. Ghost gives Jason this like bag of money and lets Jason know, like, I don't want any type of war. You know, don't take it personal. Well, Jason, again, like I told y'all last week, I really like him. He's like a boss. And he was like straight pulled a power move. And he's like, I'm going to need $100,000 every 2 weeks since you messed up my distro. So, if you don't want me to kill you, you need to pay me, was basically what Jason said. And that's just is what it is. So, Ghost's like, all right, whatever. Tommy, we then see Tommy in an Uber, which I'm like, Tommy in an Uber don't even sound right. Could you imagine being his Uber driver? Like, you put on the wrong song. He, like, pull his gun out on you or something. Like, y'all know Tommy crazy. But Tommy's in the Uber, and we see that Tariq actually set the Uber up for him. So that was, like, another little, like, so wait a minute now. Tariq don't know that he's supposed to be allegedly dead right now. So I'm like, okay. The Uber driver calls Tommy Marshall as an Eminem when he gets out. And I was cracking up at that because I always did think that, like, if Eminem actually went as hard as he thinks he does, he probably would look and act like Tommy. But he just act crazy and talk about killing his mom and his child's mother. But that's another thing. Okay. Then we see Tariq at Choate, and his white roommate brings in a buyer, because, you know, Tariq got his little pill business going on at the school. He want to be a thug or something so bad. But he brings a buyer, like somebody that's trying to buy the drugs, into the room. So the person not only knows what room Tariq is in, knows he's selling the drugs, and knows he's keeping the drugs in the room. Like, it's like, white people, that don't make no sense at all. But Tariq like, nah, get him out of here. Like, don't ever do that. And he tells the white boy, like, next time somebody wants something, they go through you. So Tariq basically, he becoming a supplier. He the plug and about to have this white boy, like, being, you know, pushing his weight. And I was like, oh, look at Tariq. He finally learned something from Kanan. I don't think he learned it from Ghost, because y'all remember he was like, teach me the fucking game, Ghost, or whatever. And Ghost was like, no, you're going to be different. So I'm pretty sure he learned that from Kanan. But I was like, finally, Tariq did something that made sense. Like, finally. We then see Ghost running to Proctor's house, and he all frazzled or whatever, and he's like, Proctor, I killed Tommy last night, and I need an alibi. And Proctor's like, oh no, it's no good. The new attorney general dude was popped up on me and my daughter's ballet recital, so I can't be your alibi. I was literally with the feds. And Proctor is straight up like, I'm kind of glad that he gone. Tommy being dead is a good thing for all of us. And Ghost trying to act all upset like, I lost my brother. That was my brother. Proctor like, man, I would feel bad if you weren't the one that killed him. Like, Ghost and how he grieves is so ridiculous to me. Like, oh, I'm all sad that my mistress is dead and I'm crying and I'm depressed, but my daughter was murdered and I just stood there. And I then created this Queen Child's project to honor her, but the whole time it's some shady business shit. But like, oh, Tommy's dead, but oh, and I'm sad, but oh, wait, I killed him. Like, he is weird. It's weird. But anyway, Proctor's wife Proctor gets served and his wife is bringing him back into court for custody, a custody little battle or whatever, which I don't like her. We'll get onto that later. Tommy then meets with his crew and he's letting them know like, hey y'all, I'm dead. So like, just move your weight and y'all ain't seen me. Y'all ain't heard from me, nothing. And the, what his name is, whatever the guy is, I saw super eager. I think his name is like Tulip or something like that. He tells Spank he got what he said, I got a 275 or something on a SAT. First of all, I don't care what you got. I don't like you. He's the type of person that's like, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to fit in. I'm an ass kisser. I'm a suck up. Like, and that's a life lesson. If somebody is like way too eager to be down or like way too eager to just be like riding your shit, like always trying to be on your wave, like, yeah, no, I'm down. Like Tommy, like, yeah, I need to ride up. Like Tommy, like, yeah, somebody, they think I'm dead. He like, oh, you need us to ride on somebody? Like, and then Tommy like, nah, I got it. It's a one-man job. But Tommy like, yeah, I need somebody to drive me up here. Well, I'm going that way. Like, boy, calm it down. Why are you so eager? It's not, something ain't right with him. And I'm telling you, mark my words in this video, he's going to be the main one that probably try to cross Tommy or try to pull a Dre and like try to take over it. Because that's the thing. He went from Kanan to Dre to Tommy. Like, he's just a wave hopper. I don't like people like that. Like, get your own vibe. I'm trying to ride somebody else's vibe. Anyway. So the cops then show up at Tasha's apartment and they're like, do you know the whereabouts of 𝑑𝒍𝒆𝒂𝒔𝒆? And I'm like, am I the only one who didn't know that Terry's real name was Deleterious? Ew. That makes him even more unattractive. Like, he already was not cute, but your name is 𝑑𝒍𝒆𝒂𝒔𝒆? Not it. But Tasha all in love. She's like, oh, no, I don't know. She's still playing it cool. Tasha is a real ride or die. Keisha needs to take notes. Why she being mad at her? She needs to take notes from Tasha, for real. But Tasha straight up checks Agent Rodriguez and is like, I don't have to share any information with you because that's attorney-client privilege. I don't have to share that. And that was like a life lesson for me because I'm like, you know what? Tasha don't never give these authorities nothing else than what she's supposed to. She cooperates, she answers, but she don't never like divulge no information. Granted, she's probably doing that because the things that she's doing is illegal, but it's a life lesson because if you know your rights and you know what you can and cannot do and what you don't, what you're not required to do, it could save a life. I mean, really think about it. That's how they got the Central Park 5. But again, different show, different thing. But anyway. So then we see Paz in Angie's office, like clearing her stuff out, looking sad because her sister's gone or whatever. And then the dude, Sax, come in and he takes the iPad from her like, oh, that's government issued. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Could that be like some evidence or something? Like, is something in there? And it's at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm hoping Angie's not dumb enough to have some, critical evidence or something that could link her or Jamie or Tommy or Tasha or Tariq. And, I'm just like, I'm hoping none of that is on her iPad. Like, I'm hoping she's not dumb enough to have that's like doing something illegal on your work computer. Like, it's bad enough that we be already at work, like looking for other jobs. I'm like, I hope she not dumb enough to try to do something like that on her work computer. You know what I'm saying? But, he takes it or whatever. And he lets Paz know that Angie's benefits have been frozen due to HR sorting things out. And I was just like, I'm so sick of this. Y'all, people need to be prepared. Okay? Have a life insurance policy outside of your job if need be. Like, and just have someone that you trust to know the access to your accounts and stuff. Like, I'm like, Paz don't know any of her information. Like, yeah, she died, but she don't, where her purse at? Like, get her bank card. You don't know her. Like, you need to have somebody in your life that you trust that knows your PIN or something that can just, girl, at least take out a couple $100 and, like, take care of some last minute things. And, like, you got to be prepared because clearly Angie didn't have anything prepared but around here dating a whole drug kingpin. But you're not prepared and working in a very dangerous field, obviously, killing people and people dying, and you don't have none of this stuff in order. Like, I'm just looking at her even more like, Angie, really? But anyway, Paz then admits she does not have enough money to pay for that funeral. So then she starts to rethink that offer that Jamie gave her in the last episode. So she like, oh shit, I might need to actually stop being a bitch and take this money from him. But then we cut to Tasha and James at their little divorce meeting thingy. And we found out that Ghost has hidden accounts from Tasha. And Tasha like, I want half of everything. And I'm like, yes, sis, as you deserve all that you've done for this man while he running around here in love with his high school sweetheart, risking y'all life. Your daughter done got murdered. Your son done lost his mind. You done lost your house. Like, sir, the least you could do is break me off with something so I can just keep wearing these nice outfits and take care of our children. So I'm like, yeah, Tasha, get what you deserve. And it was so funny to me when the lady tried to call her Miss St. Patrick, and Tasha was like, don't call me that. It made me think of that scene in What's Love Got to Do with It, when Tina Turner was like, I don't care what it is, I just want my name. Girl, Tasha is so done with James, she don't even want the name. She like, I don't want the name, I don't want nothing to do with him, I just want some money. That's how you know you're done. Seriously. But unfortunately, Tasha gets nothing due to the prenup that she signed, stating that if she basically initiates the divorce, she doesn't get anything. And she signed that in a prenup. I know we be in love, y'all, but things don't last always. You can't be caught up in that puppy love honeymoon stage and don't think. Like, I know in her mind back then it probably was like, oh, I love him. We have kids. We'll be together forever. I'll never want to leave him. But girl, you didn't think about what you had. You didn't imagine at all that your life would look like it looks like now. Keep that in mind. Things change. People change. Feelings change. You're going to sign something that says, even if I want to leave you, I don't get anything? What? When I'm literally the accountant and the person that's holding it down being your alibi all the damn time? Like, Tasha, girl, I'm like, it must be something going on with James because he got these women risking their lives, losing their mind. Like, it's too much. Ghost then meets with Tasha in the hallway, and he pretty much forces her to see that they need to look innocent, because if they don't look innocent in this, murder trial or investigation on what really happened to Angie, Tasha can be basically implicated too, because she was all in the mix. So he's like, look, we need to look innocent and we need to go to this funeral together. And the whole time he was going over there, I'm just like, nigga, no, I'm not going to your mistress' funeral. No. But I'm like, oh, wait, he does have a good point. So I'm like, dang, here Tasha go again, got to put herself through some craziness. But what's crazy is in that moment, Ghost promised Tasha that he would stay away from Tommy, knowing damn well he done already alleged, in his mind, killed the man. I'm like, Ghost is terrible. How you know you done killed somebody? You like, okay, I'll stay away from him. You're going to stay away from him because he dead. Like, what in the world? But then we cut to Sax talking to Proctor's wife, telling her to put a bug in their daughter's backpack in exchange for a reference letter. And like I said earlier, I just really don't like her. I don't need her or her storyline, honestly. She just, it's nothing about her that is intriguing. I mean, I get, they keep alluding like, oh, she was a crackhead or she had a drug addiction and that's why Proctor has their daughter and blah, 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 blah. Like, I just don't really care, honestly. And I don't like the actress, even that they have. She's bland and boring. So I'm like, I really hope they don't try to dive into this all extra because I don't really care. I don't care. But anyway, then we see Tommy, Keisha, and Cash in the house, and they're just literally in earshot in the kitchen while the little boy is sitting on the couch, and they're just openly talking about murder and drugs and guns. And I'm like, the little boy is sitting right there watching TV. Again, prime example, Keisha is not cut out for this ride or die life. But then there's a knock at the door. And Keisha, again, not about that life in real life. She's like, oh my God, what if it's the cops? Like, oh, she's just like bugging out. Again, a real ride or die would have been like, okay, put my son here, Tommy, you go hide in the back. She's yelling Tommy's name all out. If it was the cops, girl, they gonna know he in here. Because you're like, Tommy, Tommy. But luckily, it wasn't nobody but Tasha. And Keisha straight curved her and was like, I told you don't come back, and like slams the door and tells Tommy, we're done with the St. Patrick's. And I'm like, why are all of Tommy's relationships the same? I'm like, isn't that what Holly said to him too? Like, we're done with them. Holly didn't like Tasha either. So I'm like, it's the same thing all over again. Hopefully he doesn't kill Keisha though. Hopefully. So then we see Ghost in Tariq's dorm room. And the first thing that Tariq says is, who's dead now, Ghost? Which, when he calls him Ghost, that just trips me out. But Ghost tells him, it's your Uncle Tommy. And he pretty much tells him, like, all that happened. And Tariq's response is basically just, man, I gotta study. And he, like, brushes past him and goes to sit down. And the entire time I'm thinking, Tariq is at this fancy white school. Have we ever actually seen him study or do any work? Or has he just been carrying on and showing his ass for the last 6 seasons? Like, does he actually do work? Like, is he actually smart? I don't even know. But then we see that Tariq tells Tommy that he didn't tell Ghost that he knows that Tommy is still alive. And he then tells Tommy, you gotta let me know before you take a shot at Ghost. And I'm like, for what? Like, what are you going to try to do? You're going to try to save him like you didn't save Raina? Yes, I am still salty. He let his sister get murdered because of his foolishness. So yes, still salty. But then we see Tate and Jamie at Truth Nightclub for a press conference. And every time they're in Truth, I'm like, that is such a nice establishment. Like, I probably would party at Truth, honestly, because it looks good. The bar is dope. They always got a nice selection. It's fancy, upscale. Even though people, they got shot and all that didn't happen there, I'm like, I think I actually would party. I would go. A little happy hour or something. But Rashad is so, like, nice, nasty, and bougie all at the same time. And he pretty much tells Ghost, like, if you go down, I'm not going down with you. And he's like, I've been working on the speech for the last 18 hours and ain't nothing going to detract from it today. And I'm like, Rashad better chill out with all this talking to Ghost all tough. Like, he is such a tough guy. Like, you are not your character in Minister Society. It is not the same thing. Ghost just killed somebody last night. And you talking to this man like you about that life. I'm just like, he don't even know who he dealing with for real. You better relax, sir. Seriously. But then we see, cut to another scene, and Tasha and Tommy meet up. And Tasha is pretty much starting to wonder if it's better for her life for Ghost to be dead or alive. And she pretty much says, like, if Ghost is dead, her and the kids are his beneficiaries. And that whole scene to me, and like Tommy's opening up to Tasha about like his concerns with Keisha, and Tasha's like giving him advice like, you know, if you do this, you can get Keisha to do anything and all of that. And it truly was a testament to their actual bond. if you really think about the last 6 seasons, Tasha and Tommy are really the only ones who've really been consistently loyal to one another. Like, they were more loyal to each other than Ghost has ever been to either of them the entire time. And I thought that that was like a nice little like brother-sister love moment, even though they were plotting on killing Ghost. But anyway, we see Paz picking out Angie's clothes for the funeral, and like, that is a terrible, terrible feeling. Like, I would not wish that on my worst enemy, to have to pick out what you're going to bury your loved one in. Like, it's just not. It's terrible. So I was just like, oh, like my heart kind of felt that, you know, being somebody that's had to do that. I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up. But while looking through her things, Paz finds this old cell phone, and I'm like, oh shit. The first thing that I thought, I'm like, is that the phone? You remember, was it last season, y'all, when Angie cloned Ghost's phone, and like, if he got a text, she got a text, or she could see all the call logs, all of that. I'm like, if that's that phone, and Paz like sees all of that stuff, I'm like, oh, it's over. Jamie's going to jail, like prison, like he's out of here. But we see that it's not that phone, but it's another burner that has one number in it. And Paz, thinking that it's Ghost or Jamie, sends a message and is like, you need to meet up with me for my sister if you care, or something like that. Then we cut to Proctor and that wife of his again that I do not like. I don't like this hoe. Again, I don't. But in front of the judge, she's talking about Proctor got her hooked on crack. Girl, bye. You got yourself hooked on it, actually. But it is the most inappropriate thing ever that happens after that. The judge, Proctor, and his wife go into the room to speak to their young daughter, and right there with both parents there, the judge is like, do you want to split time between both parents, or you want to keep things how it is and just stay with your dad? Like, that is so messed up to do that to a child. Like, put a child on the spot like that in front of both parents. They're going to feel guilty. They're going to feel that pressure, and it's just not okay. Like, I really didn't like that scene. And the mom is all like, remember how much fun we had getting our nails done? Like, that's not okay to put that kind of pressure on a child. And I'm so serious. Like, y'all, handle your custody stuff outside of the courts. The courts don't give a damn. Clearly, as you can see. Like, don't do stuff like that. But anyway, we see Paz waiting to see whoever's going to show up to this text message that she sent from that phone she found at Angie's house. And lo and behold, she thinks that it's going to be Ghost, but it's Tasha. And Tasha walk up, honey, slaying us in this dope-ass coat with, like, the fur lining. She had a little beat face, little light red lip. I wanted to serve y'all a little Tasha today. But, like, a little little red lip. I was like, okay, Tasha. Like, she always looks so good to me. But, she thought, Paz pretty much thinks that her sister is an angel, not even knowing her sister is just as much in the foolishness as all of them. And without letting it be known, Tasha let it be known, like, I got a deal too. Like, your sister, yeah, she not whatever you thought it is. And Paz is just standing there looking crazy. But Paz is like, pretty much don't believe it and threatens to go to the cops. Tasha let her know real quick, you can do that, baby, but I got the receipts. Tasha held that phone up and was like, I got the messages, voicemails, everything that implicates her. So if we go down, like, your sister loses her benefits, her money, and her reputation. And Paz was standing there looking dumb like, oh, shoot, let me rethink this. And that's one thing that I like about Tasha. She can get in the mind of any and everybody that she wants. Like, she always know, like, just what to say to be like, oh shit, let me rethink whatever I thought I was thinking. She honestly should have been the kingpin or the queenpin, not Ghost, because clearly Tasha got the juice. Like, she has the smart, she has it all. But then again, not when it comes to men, so she might have did the same thing that James did, honestly. Anyway, while Tasha's walking away from Paz, this worrisome ass detective, Rodriguez, comes up again and confronts her And Tasha has to admit that she was humping that man in that car garage. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she like, well, I didn't want to say anything because I'm a married woman. And, you know, I didn't want that to get out there. But it's like, girl, you were humping in a public setting. I don't think you can think like that. Like, I didn't want it to get out. Anybody could have saw y'all. It could have gotten out. So then we cut back to Rashad at the press conference, and, you know, Ghost is standing up there on the stage with him, as well as like a few of his other little like white little campaign managers and whatnot. And in the middle of the whole like him answering questions from the press, this big old black guy come up and he going off, and he calls Tate out for not being real, and in front of all them people called James St. Patrick a corner boy. And I was like, ooh, not a corner boy, like the nerve. But honey, James St. Patrick hopped on that mic like he was Barack Obama himself, and he gave his own campaign speech. You would have thought that Ghost was running for 2020, honey. Like, Ghost like, no, I got something to say. He was doing a little wave, presidential wave and everything. I'm like, what in the world? Why is he doing this? But as I'm listening to this little anecdote, this little speech he's giving, Ghost made sure that he said, I partnered with Rashad, and that's why I spent the last 18 hours working on this speech with him. And I'm like, ooh, that goddamn Ghost strikes again. He needed an alibi, y'all. Remember that. He needed it to be known that he was somewhere instead of killing Tommy last night. So for him to be like, yeah, I was working with him. I was working on the speech for the last 18 hours. That's where I was. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. And said it at a press conference. So you got all these people that can verify that they heard you say it. And then the Tate is not going to deny it. And like, oh, he wasn't with me, because Tate might be brave, but he ain't stupid. So it's like, Ghost is so like, he's so good. They call him Ghost for a reason. But, then we see Tommy with a clear shot about to shoot Ghost, like, which is so weird to me. I'm like, how are they always trying to shoot each other in broad daylight? Like, you're just going to fire at him on a sidewalk in the bright sunlight with cars driving by, like witnesses. And Tommy didn't even have a silencer. Like, I'm like, what is going on? How is that going to work anyway? But Ghost did the same thing, like tried to like aim for Tommy one time too, like that. I don't know. But before he could do that, Tommy is like kidnapped, and he, of course, has no idea who it is. Come to find out, it's Jason, which again, I like him. Jason is basically like, again, playing both sides, and says, nah, you can't kill Ghost. It's too risky. All the while, because Ghost is now paying him the $100,000 every 2 weeks. So Jason is getting Ghost and Tommy's money, and still getting Tommy to push the weight for him. Like I told y'all, I like him. He's good. So Tasha comes storming up in Ghost's house, and she's asking, where is Terry? You know, all this stuff. And she tells Ghost, like, in her rant, she's like, you have no right to take away my happiness and my future. And honey, Ghost hit her with a dagger straight to the heart and was like, Terry wasn't your future no more than Sean was. And I was on the floor. I'm like, no, he didn't bring up Sean. Oh my goodness. Y'all remember how nasty Tasha was playing with herself in the back of that car? Like, girl, he works for your husband. He's like your husband's second son. And you up in here messing with this young boy. That was in darker days for Tasha. She's come a long way to get a little bit better. But I don't know if deleterious is any better. But anyway, the shade of that comment, though, was too much for me. But Tasha then, like, strikes back, and she threatens to snitch, like, tells Ghost, like, if you don't pay me, I'm telling everything. Which, honestly, I'm starting to believe her, because I feel like this whole, I'm not giving you anything because of the prenup, you got to go to Angie's funeral with me, and he's not telling her where Terry is, like, I think it's starting to, like, wear on her now at this point. I feel like she is starting to waver. So she actually might snitch, honestly. But then we go back to Choke, and we see Tariq's white roommate, who's dealing the drugs for him, also known as the reason Tariq and the white boy gonna end up in jail, because I've never seen a more loud drug dealer in my life. But again, white people. So he's like, yeah, I got somebody that wants to meet you, and if you don't meet her, she's gonna turn us in. Which, again, white people. So Tariq goes and meets this like mystery person, and we meet a new character named Effie. She goes to Choate, and sis is gorgeous. She came out the door with like her little headphones around her neck and her door knockers on and her pretty little like soft looking natural fro with the cute little baby hairs on the side. I was like, oh, she's pretty. But she gets Tariq together. She's like, it's like 5 black people here. Don't be a drug dealer stereotype. The conversation ends with Tariq offering her a job. Choate is expensive. It's private. Most of the time you need a scholarship and all that. Sis is working at the bookstore. Again, Tariq, picking up on some of those things he learned from Kanan, offers her a job. So we cut to Tate's office, and we see him meeting with Will Robinson, who was the big black guy who came in and called James the corner boy, which again took me aback. But Tate pretty much offers him a job to like track down intel on Ghost. Pretty much for me, I was like, okay, y'all just like drop that little seed, planting that seed for a potential problem in their whole, murder investigation stuff they got going on. Or a potential person who Ghost will kill next, because if that guy gets in his way and compromises anything, I'm pretty sure Ghost would do exactly what he did to Tommy's car, to this young man. So I'm just like, oh Lord, here we go. But after that, Tate like bitch slaps his white campaign manager, Derek, after Derek tells him like, you can't fire me. I know too much about you. And y'all mark my words on this. Remember this. Episode 2, recap and review. I said it. That's going to come back to haunt Tate. You think you just going to smack and punch and beat up this white boy this curly-headed white boy in your office, and you just going to get away with it? This white boy will sail you up the river so quick. Because it's like, in my mind, it's like, what would he have to lose by snitching on Tate? Unless the white boy's in some dirty stuff too, which maybe that hasn't come out in the storyline yet. But in my mind, he ain't got nothing going on. So him snitching would put Tate in jail or out of his hair, and who knows, he might run for, to be some type of political something himself. But mark my words, that's going to come back on Tate, because you can't just be around here beating people up and then walking out the room, putting your suit coat on with a smile. Like, that's not going to work.
It's going down. I ain't going down with it.
So we see Paz with the casket, and she finds out that the funeral expenses have been taken care of by Tasha, which again speaks to the strength of Tasha and the woman that she is, and the fact that she actually did respect Angela despite all things. And Paz makes a very smart decision to just put that phone and all of that evidence and all of those secrets that her sister had when she was alive, she sticks it in the casket. But you notice she put it by her shoes, because they did not show Angie's face in the casket. Point that out. But she says your secrets are buried with you, and puts the phone in there. Then we go to the main event, honey. Angie's the funeral. Oh my goodness. First thing that we see is Saxe talking to the DEA agent Steve, that you remember Angie like tried to go on a date with. She might have gave him some booty. I can't even remember, but remember they had like a little thing at one point or whatever. But he was also helping her with Dre, while Dre is supposed to be, with the Jimenez case. And he let Saxe know, we can't let this leak. We can't let it be known that Angie has passed. Like, we need Dre to like still trust in the system so he doesn't recant and he will still testify. Literally. First thing that we hear. And then we see that everybody is at this funeral, honey. I mean, this funeral might as well have bottle service in a VIP section. I mean, everybody is there. Everybody that she worked with, all the little janks she used to mess with. I feel like I saw some of Greg people there. Like, I'm like, dang, everybody was at this funeral, including James and Tasha St. Patrick. When they walked up, And Sack said, the ball's on this guy. He thinks he's OJ. Like, yes, Ghost is crazy, because if I am the main person of interest in somebody's murder, and then in my own, like, internally, I know I was there when she was murdered and I saw the person that killed, like, pull the trigger, I'm not going to the funeral. I'm not going there. Like, how can you do that and then show up with your wife on your arm, knowing that she was your mistress? I'm like, Ghost is something else. Like, something else. But that wasn't even the really shocker of it all. But get to that later. Tasha and Paz nod to each other, and I'm like, okay, that's a good moment of just like, you know, I see you, you see me, sis. We don't have to talk about it. We don't have to say anything. But you know what? Respect. You ain't do this. You know, we keeping it whatever. And I was like, I like that. They had an understanding. And then right when we thought the episode was over, the little song that was playing had started really, like, you know when songs get to the good part where it's hollering and it's all heightened. And I'm like, man, they're going to end the episode right here. Guess who walks up in the goddamn funeral? None other than Tommy Egan himself. Yes, the Tommy Egan walks up in that damn funeral and gives his condolences to the family. Goes to Paz, offers Paz money or anything she needs. Goes up to Angela's Poppy and it's like, oh, Poppy, like, gives him love. And I'm just like, bitch, how you supposed to be dead, showing up to a damn funeral of the very woman that you know that you murdered? I'm like, I can't. And then Tasha gives the most, like, devilish smile, because Ghost is, again, Casper at that point, just drained. He don't know what to do. He's like, did you know that Tommy was alive? And Tasha like, yep. I'm like, oh, shit. So then just a few other things happen to wrap up the episode. Effie lets us know, which we all saw it coming, she's down to help Reek. So she's going to be now in his little business of selling, you know, the little pills and stuff at Choate. Proctor's wife puts the bug on her daughter's book bag. And again, we all know that's just a hurricane waiting to hit, because Ghost and Proctor say any and everything in that house when they together, child. Like, but the only thing that I'm thinking is that even a legal way to obtain evidence? Like, even if, you know, Ghost walks in there and like he did earlier in the episode and be like, I killed Tommy last night. Like, if you have that on an illegal bug that you put in someone's house, can you really use that? Like, is it permissible in court? Like, does it mean anything? I don't know. But last final things we see Tasha and baby girl at their new apartment, which kind of like shows and solidifies that Tasha's trying to like move forward with her life outside of James and Terry and everybody else. She's moving out of the hotel to, you know, get an actual apartment for her and her kids. We see Ghost confronting Jason, like, why didn't you let me know that Tommy was, you know, Tommy isn't dead? And Jason basically tells him, you can kill Tommy if you like, but if you do, you're going to become the new distro. And again, just Jason, just being a puppet master. I got both of y'all paying me money. I got Tommy over here dealing my drugs. If Tommy dies, you're going to start dealing my drugs and probably still having to pay him. Like, it's like, this man is just working it. And the last and final thing that we see is Dre, Timmy with his fine self, doing them push-ups. And I'm like, wait, where are you even at, sir? Like, I've literally asked for him in the last episode, like, where is Dre? But we finally see him. We hear the baby crying, so we know he did, in fact, leave the baby mama like he told Angie, like, I don't need the mama. So he took the baby, and him and the baby are in witness protection. But the agent comes in and is like, we need you to be ready to testify. But what those dummies did was exactly what the DEA agent told them not to do. They let it leak to the press that Angie was buried that day. So now Dre is sitting there like, oh shit, Angie's dead and she's buried. I'm supposed to testify against the Jimenez cartel tomorrow. And then y'all want me to move. It's like, so you just see this like very confused, like, oh shit, what I'm going to do look on Dre's face. And I'm just even more excited for next week's episode. So many seeds were planted in this episode. So many like so many things happen that's like, oh shit, what's next? So I'm super excited. Let me know, what are y'all's predictions for episode 3? I'm predicting that Dre is not going to testify. Like I said, that bug is going to be a hurricane waiting to hit because they're going to say something. Ghost and Proctor are going to say something. Tommy and Ghost are going to try to kill each other yet again. Or maybe Tasha is. I don't know. I think Lakeisha's going to ultimately drop the ball in this being the ride or die thing, but I don't quite know how it's going to play out just yet. And I don't think that we've seen the last of Paz. I think that Paz is going to come back through because she's going to want to know the ins and outs of what's really going on with her sister and the type of person her sister really is. So I think she's going to still kind of mix and mingle with the St. Patrick's. Like, I don't think that's the last that we've seen of her. So super looking forward to next episode. Hopefully we get the new, like the not the new theme song again, but the old one that we all know and love with old Rusty Crusty Joe. That's what we want, not Trey. So we'll see if we get that. Please, again, make sure that y'all like, subscribe, and comment on this video. This is powered by Conscious Kingdom. Check out our website at shopconsciouskingdom.com, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.